Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the RationalInvestor.com's Daily Brief Recap. What time is it? About 10:30 on Monday. Back to we are live on YouTube. That's kind of cool. Coming into the last month of 2020. Good heavens. 30th of November. Happy birthday, Jojo. We got about 3 or 4 different big celestial events happening here in December. Once we're on the other side of that, hopefully things calm down a bit. But, I don't think it should really surprise us once we come back from this funny little holiday weekend that usually actually spills over into the beginning of December. But here we are, the 30th. So this go around, we've still got 1 day in November left here to trade. Following the U.S. Thanksgiving holiday weekend. But I guess the way that I would look at this, and I've sort of said this to you guys before, I mean, the message doesn't really change. Probably won't change for the next month or so. Market's very rich. It's right up at the top end of the range. Bitcoin, congratulations, new all-time highs. Woohoo! ETH pressing up against its highs. Big fundamental event out tomorrow, so let's see how the market digests that. Stock markets pressing up against highs. US dollars pressing against lows. The only thing that just doesn't make any sense in all of this is crazy gold. And if anything, I hate to say it, but I love it, but I hate to say it for the gold bugs, is told you so. Sorry, not very nice. I know there's one Scottish guy that used to pick me all the time about Bitcoin and gold, and if anything, you have your validation, sir. You know who you are, that Bitcoin has officially ate gold's lunch. But anyway, that's here nor there. Point here in the short term, markets, actually we did flash a little sell signal there on the breadth. And you can see across the board. Remember, just in previous recent daily briefs, man, we had a lot of bullish signals. Now we're actually starting to flash some bearish signs here across the board. So things are kind of rolling over here a little bit. I think we had talked a lot of the big stocks, big tech stocks down the States. They weren't that happy. It was the little junior market that was just racing higher here of late. Anyway, let's go see what's going on your dashboard. What screen do we like to show you guys? We like to show the screen with the naked ladies on it. No, not that screen. There we go. All right. U.S. dollar index flirting with historic, not historic, beg your pardon, with these lows from back there at the beginning of September, coming out of the summer. That was the holiday weekend. Interesting, pivot low, both holiday weekends. Smatterings of some sort of reversal here. Remember we did have this funny chaos level. There's actually 2 of them. We could do another one off of this range here. That high down to that low. That consolidation. We got both of these, 91.33, and then off of this consolidation, 91.26. So we hit a low here this morning, 91.50. So I still could go another 20, 30 ticks lower. There's 78.6 off of the entire range, 91.40. So, and also too, I've told you guys repeatedly, into this December event, I actually expect this US dollar to be the weakest and then work its way back up following that event. I mean, where exactly that low is, I don't know. Is anybody? I will say, though, that, off of this 3-year range, we're now just starting. You can actually see, there we are. That was our low today. We're just starting to get back into the original bottom. Remember we say look left. I mean, you could argue, really, there isn't much support in here at all. You might find that, we have 1 day where, geez, the US dollar just collapses. They bring it right back down into the old bottom. But of course, talking heads on the media and stuff, they're all like, the sky's falling, it's the end of the world, right? But they don't realize it's all a trap. Anyway, here nor there, point of the matter here is in the short term, we're still pointing down. I did buy a leap on this, and actually I'll be more than happy to go and buy a few more leaps, to be honest with you, over the next month or two, but I'm not in a hurry to do anything on this right now. And when I mean leap is that was a January 2022 call option. So long way down the road. So with US dollar weakness there right out of the gate this morning, I guess it shouldn't have surprised us to see stocks open up stronger. I tell you, this kind of looks to me like it's carving out an engulfing bar here. That's a bit dangerous. Do you really buy this idea that we've broken out to the upside here? I don't know. Remember we said there was that last celestial event. We want to wait for the resolution following it. Did this thing resolve higher? Oh boy, I don't know. I guess so. I mean, it certainly isn't a trade I can do. And, I mean, now, hopefully you guys have been watching these videos long enough. You should all go, well, Brian, what happens if you draw a fib from that high all the way back down to these lows? You do your crazy reload zones. Gee whiz, what a coincidence. You see, the original fractal bottom that set up this rally is basically in that reload zone. Then we could go, Brian, shouldn't I be trying to buy against trendline support? So that's connecting the dots, boobity boo. So that means we should be thinking about here. So now we got reload zones, we got trendline support. Brian, don't you go on about these candle body lows as trade location? I'm being a little silly today. You could actually start to see the trade setting itself up here. I don't know what's going to happen, but there's no friggin' way I could be buyer up there. Actually, I will say, in yesterday's Broiler Chickens, somebody has a question. Ready? Brian? Actually, this guy I think was from Sweden, so he went, Brian? That's terrible, sorry. I can't do a Swedish accent to save my soul. Silly Canadian. So, excuse me. Somebody asked, in the Broiler Chicken show, whether I would entertain the idea of buying like proxies that would make money if this thing went down. And I was like, I don't really want to give you like what the trades I've been doing or specifically like, oh yeah, buy this level, sell that level. I don't really like that kind of talk. But frankly speaking, I was actually, you know what? Actually, you're probably onto something. And yeah, I picked up a bit of this, the bear ETF, a bit of that bear ETF, because, this is getting pretty damn risky now. So be forewarned. I don't know what the hell this top looks like. This might actually turn into some big ass fucking head and shoulders. There it goes. I could easily see that. So I don't know what the hell this transition is going to look like. We all know we're into silliness. I was trying to convey to the public through things like Broiler Chicken Show. If we just talk about stock market, you can't make the argument this thing's cheap. That's expensive. And the same thing with Bitcoin. I show you guys this image on these videos. I don't know what the hell it is over here. There's value. So here we are way up top. Stock market, cryptocurrency markets, same thing. Yes, this thing has pressed to new highs, but that doesn't change the fact that it's still not cheap. So, caveat emptor. This is the image you're staring in the face. You see where reload zones are. Buyer beware. That's about all I can say, right? This is actually why a lot of professionals don't like talking to the public, because you're like, Mr. Barstool, okay, where's the next 10x here? And I look at this and I go, well, it's probably in your best interest not to do anything at all there. Oh, well, what can you do? Watching the oil market. Actually, it was fun popping into Top Step, listening to Johnny Hoagland talking this morning. Actually, interesting. Got a little bit of an inside bar failure there today. Did leave a gap. So as we were kind of talking about against these guys, we'll watch for a nice little M up here. if the stock market is going to top out and break down, my hunch is oil has to as well, and the corn as well. That's sort of like, well, what I wanted to show, well, we won't do that today. The risk on, risk off, right? This guy, and this guy all should move in unison. And this guy, and the yen, which I don't have in here, they usually move in unison as risk off. So, we're not really getting a huge sort of risk on. Inside bar failure on crude. Looks like an engulfing bar potentially on the stock market. I mean, that's nothing to get excited about there. Bonds were trying to work their way higher. You can see trying to fire inverted, well, actually, it's not really a pretty one, but an empire there. We had talked last week that if I wanted to actually short bonds, and I like the idea of interest rates now starting to trend higher, but if we wanted to short bonds, this is the window, right? There is your reload short zone. There is the gap fill. There is the original top. So, but that would be risk on. That would mean that the stock market is working its way higher. So this would be really interesting. Your tell here, and probably this market's going to be following that energy market really closely. I mean, if crude oil prices take off to the upside, that is hugely inflationary. But I would say we have a nice little bull-bear battle line in the bond market now. Either a break below here, the M out, down we go. Break above here, working our way higher, A, B, C, D, probably up into these highs. I guess kind of just a hurry up and do nothing here right now. And then, of course, we were talking about this earlier. Poor old gold bugs. It just ain't nothing to get excited about on that chart. We broke to new lows here this morning. Actually, I was listening to John. It was interesting. The futures traders were hunting maybe little, short-term entries on the long side against these lows. But with that higher time frame chart, there ain't nothing for me to get too excited about here. Yeah, so the futures guys, it's actually funny listening to John. He's so cute. Because you could literally hear it in his voice. He was getting all excited when he saw this bullish sort of reversal off of here. He was like, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So a very typical sort of pit trader kind of guy. I hope he made some money there. Good job. Hats off to you, John. Maybe what this carves out is like a nice inverted head and shoulders here. So there, something like that. But at best, all that's going to do is say we want to replicate this range to the upside. So we'll probably go up into that area, which would make sense, right? Because that's the original breakdown failure. So there's a bunch of sell orders all sitting there waiting to go. So having said that, like I said, higher time frame, daily price chart, just nothing to do here. So maybe it's setting up for the big hurrah into the December 21st window. I would definitely say once we're beyond this event here, I have no interest whatsoever in the gold market for like literally the next 15 years. None at all. Any kind of counter trend rallies, I would consider them opportunities to sell into. That's me. Call me crazy. Many people do. And then, of course, the funny thing is with U.S. dollar heading lower, why the fuck is this thing heading lower? And I hate to say it for all the gold bugs in the world, I do believe that Wall Street and de facto Main Street has bought into this. Why would I invest my money if I want to get out of the system into an ounce of gold that just sits there when I could go invest my money in Bitcoin and hell, and even take the Bitcoin itself and go and Uniswap it into other stuff or whatever. The point here is gold just sitting there as a store of value. It just sits there and it does nothing. And, if you're sitting on a whack of it, it's actually pretty expensive just to keep it safe. Gold maybe 20th century story. Bitcoin's 21st century story. It makes sense to me. I don't know whether I know I mentioned it in the daily brief for the audience here on the site, but I did tweet out a really cool video that I think is probably, I don't know whether I have it on the YouTube. You can just go grab the Twitter feed and grab that link. But I have to tell you, you want to see sort of a glimpse into the future, and it's a bit frightening. But I think this is a really, really good interview. Well, not interview, but she does a speech, Kathy Woods, on sort of what our future is going to look like. And it doesn't have anything to do with gold. Ironically enough, it has very little to do with commodities in general, and everything to do with going digital. Everything going digital. So, Bitcoin's a story for the future. Crypto's a story for the future. I think gold, unfortunately, is a story about the past. But the irony of it as a broker, man, I used to have so many gold bug clients. As a broker, I mean, you can say anything to a gold bug, anything, and it's always a buy signal. Gold's down $100 now, so that's a buy signal. It's cheap. So bless your hearts, you gold bugs will always be gold bugs. I mean, interesting now that we've gone beyond 66, by definition, gone. No more bots. And if anything, what it kind of looks like is this actually looks like one of my funny little diagonal patterns. I keep telling you guys this. Somebody's going to find a name for these one of these days. But there's that pattern again, right? And you get this zigzag where it goes sort of like from this angle here to here. And this angle here to here. So that would still be painting lower, but just like we saw in the Bitcoin, sometimes these can go a hell of a lot further. So at minimum, I would be expecting we're coming back down against these lows. So there's just nothing for me to do on the bull side here. So we will let that simmer and move on. Junior market looks like it's finally showing a little bit of signs of exhaustion. And really, I might argue in the stock market in general, which is a little bit scary for what the hell Bitcoin's doing. But, in the stock market in general, the whole damn market would be down except for the fact that Apple happens to be up. It's like dragging. You can see Apple, before I did the daily brief, it was up about 1%. So now it's up 2%. You can see it's just pulling the NASDAQ back up. And pulling the whole damn stock market. Just one stock overweight can do that to indexes. I mean, without Apple here, this would be a pretty damn red day. That's the crazy fugazi world we live in here. Can you actually believe these indexes? Are they actually real? Are they reflective of the economy? Or are they reflective of just a very few sort of components? And I get the impression these things are heavily, heavily weighted to these 4 or 5 stocks. But, oh well. It is what it is. The irony of it all is, I suppose, if China drops some sort of tariff bomb on the U.S., then that probably kick the shit out of Apple. But not today. Stock market itself is actually pretty heavy, like we showed you with that S&P index, the breadth. Even the juniors are feeling the weight here today. Interesting, off of my junior list, the assets that are popping are everything to do with crypto. Look how close I am to getting a double on this goddamn hut, you sons of bitches! And the worst part about it is I'm so public about these trades. I mean, it's just beautiful key reversal trade. But you know who's actually stopping this rally? Like on Friday when this thing was going zooming up here? Who's stopping the rally? It's TRIers taking profit. They're all front running me. Anyway, we broke out to new highs. This guy mines Bitcoin. You would think this thing should be much, much higher. Somebody's sitting on this stock. I don't know why. But, if it gets its act together, and considering where the hell Bitcoin price is, you tell me, has this thing got any kind of room to run here? Look at the momentum. I mean, the irony of it all is I probably shouldn't even be selling here. But, I'm a principal kind of guy. Sell half on double. It's what I'm supposed to do, so I'll do it. But if it isn't for a few sort of select names, we do have some pharma names that are treating us really nicely. Look at that chart. It's just pristine. And it kind of sucks, though, because Kevin's like, oh, well, I'm actually coming into a profit-taking level. And I'm like, oh, no! But, if we've got some pharma names that are doing well, and I like that pharma sector. You can see all these. They all look really nice. We've got, the crypto-related names. Interesting, though, like the Bitcoin ETF. It's run up against the highs. It's like literally about $4 or $5 above its net asset value. So trading at huge premiums to net asset value. That's a bit dangerous. Not breaking out to new highs like the corn is itself. I don't know, maybe a little suspect. I was a little surprised to see Novogratz not breaking out to new highs. I thought Bitcoin was breaking out. What the fuck's going on here? I think Mr. Barstool and all his gang are finally getting released from Mara. Where is he? Mara, there he is, yeah. Finally, eh? They came in here. They're all buying here, so actually it looks like they got released last week. That was probably all of them going, fuck, get me the hell out of here. But not breaking out to new highs, but still looking very, very uppy. And I did hear a lot of my next sell level for whatever it's worth on this Mara. I let some go at like 450 here. 432. So my next sell half on a double level, believe it or not, is all the way up here at like 8 and change. I mean, it might happen. If it does, you get ready for that tweet. But still looking good. And then kids on the site, of course, this morning were going, hey, banging out more doubles on Riot. Hey, Kevin, what are those call options that you bought for nothing trading at these days on Riot? Whoops. Do I really want to piss somebody off this morning? That's probably not a good question. Me being facetious, sorry. But look at that. We didn't even get a response from him. He doesn't even want to say anything. I'm sorry, sir. That wasn't very nice of me. Gee whiz. Hey, there he is. Love you, babe.
I'll say they're like, they're $5 in the money. Or $6 in the money right now, sorry.
I mean, just insane numbers. Just insane. So, it is what it is. If you can make money from this. The great part about what we do at TRI is it's sort of like, okay, well, there's that. Yeah, well, we were right there. Yep, yeah, we were sort of, we were thinking in the right way. Oh, yep, hey, look at this one I'm in, So the good part about it is we're already sort of, we're always in the loop. It's either we're in the trade from an awesome level or, we sold too early. But, hey, at least we were on the right side of the market. So, anyway, point I'm trying to make here, there's not a hell of a lot of the market that's going up. In fact, actually a good portion of the market is heading down. But actually, look at that. We're starting to see some firms coming back in on names. Oh, I love this VSTM. Look at that chart. I was telling you guys about this down in here. I mean, look at that. It's so pretty. And look at that gap all the way up top. Ay. So much money to be made here. So, I get the impression in the broader market that it's kind of a down day. These EV vehicles, they kind of got a punch in the nose today. That Nikola, I think it's coming off. So, a lot of the air is coming out of this EV market. But the one part of the market that's actually pretty darn firm here right now is crypto. So, I was pretty pleased to see that. Look at that. I'm only 14 cents away from a monster fill. And actually, that's a pretty big trade, too. So, actually, I'll feel relieved should that fill come in. I don't know. Oh, yeah. Okay, so where are we here? So, that's sort of the stock market talk, blah, blah, blah. Bitcoin. All right. As you can see from the chart, and obviously super significant, Bitcoin traded to new all-time highs in the sort of cash market here today. Congratulations, Corn. Way to go. You rock star. You're awesome. I don't think these angles are actually drawn correctly. Oh, actually, you know what I did? Yeah, we did a fun study. We're sort of asking about fingerprints and stuff like that. So in fact, why don't we even just take that off? It's kind of a waste of time there today. We don't need any of that on here. All right. So, kind of like what I was showing you in that, what was that chart? I don't know. The bearish little squiggly. So that's sort of like that kind of same sort of thing. But I do see that, kind of like think that A, B, C, D, sometimes these finals can go up to 127s and 1.618s. Whoops, didn't want to move that up. I'm not going to say this is scientific. I'm still trying to figure out what the hell this is. But I see this pattern so often. But anyway, in the short term, I guess the way that I would look at this is our conversations of late have been, and it's the same thing I said there earlier. We had our Davo and, beautiful consolidation. You never know how big these damn moves are going to be, though, eh? So we had this really beautiful consolidation right here. I mean, it's very textbook. Price and volume momentum signals all telling you, hey, we're resolving higher here. So up she goes. Exactly how high she's going to go. Sometimes an adventure, getting into the guessing game. If we do some chaos levels just off of this, I would expect things like 4.669s probably come in through here and 877s up in here. Let's see what we got. Boom. Hey, well, that's a pretty good guess. So I guess that kind of explains why the market ran out of inertia right up top there. We do have, of course, the big Ethereum FA event, which is tomorrow. Also, there is life-changing events, news, and other altcoins. But how that affects Bitcoin, I have no idea. I will say, though, I was actually pretty impressed. This is probably speaking more to the lower time frame traders. Some of the site members were getting a little bit concerned about this megaphone that's trying to come in here. Not exactly sure where it comes in. Could actually work a bit higher then. So that'll be okay. I'm kind of thinking off of that low. I don't know what low Andre did that off of. Yeah, you know what? I'm probably going to have to sit and stew on that a bit more. I don't know if I believe that or not. And if anything, 1, 2, well, okay. So 1, 2, do we get a third tag of this line up in here and then an M? And if that's the case, then we may have to probe all the way back down against these levels. It wouldn't be shocking. One thing I've said, and you can kind of see it happening in the stock market. Remember our S&P 500 breadth barometer rolling over there? Where the hell is that? Over here, right? Something like that. Anyway, first week of December historically is actually usually a soft period in the market. Famous speech by Alan Greenspan, irrational exuberance. So, I don't know whether I'm really going to expect a hell of a lot out of the stock market for the next week or so. Once we get beyond this ETH event tomorrow, I did find it interesting ETH did not break out to new highs. I would expect ETH to break out to new highs here. So, but once we get beyond this event tomorrow, all bets are off. I have no idea what's going to happen here. As I said, we had that bit of a megaphone developing there on the lower time frame Bitcoin chart. If we get some sort of M up top here, oh boy, that's ugly. And actually, I thought it was really interesting. We are in a respectable trade location for us to actually even think, call me crazy, but to even think about things like shorts on Ethereum. You've got location, we're back up against the old highs. You've got momentum divergence. This is actually a confirmed bearish divergence. Willie is stupid. 50% level of this range is right there. I mean, I know it's terribly politically incorrect, but if this thing goes and M's out, that to me is actually a perfectly legitimate sell setup. Like I said, I would expect this to press to new highs, but this is not a pretty picture. And where the fuck are the buyers? Everybody's disappearing here, so a little bit suspect. No real signal there for me to do anything right now, but there's anecdotal evidence here building that this isn't as strong as you think it is. So we'll see how that goes. Am I supposed to finish off this free video? I've been blabbing away for an hour. Sure hope you feel like you got some value out of all this. Altcoins, be careful here. One thing I'm really worried about is people are going to come in, they're going to pay this high price for Bitcoins to go and buy what they perceive as cheap altcoins right now, which could be very, very dangerous. So, here's kind of a altcoin proxy in US dollars, like this index. We want to be buyers when this index is down here. We really don't want to be buyers when we're up in red boxes. That's not healthy. So this is taking out the Bitcoin price from your altcoin, but you might find out your altcoin is like cheap relative to Bitcoin. Something like this. Where's a good example? I don't know, this NEM, and really that's a terrible location. Actually, okay, so this library credits versus Bitcoin, right? You might look at this and go, well, that's a pretty good location. I'm going to go pay $19,000 for a Bitcoin to go and buy some of this at what I perceive as a cheap price versus location. When in reality, maybe we'll do it up here. If it'll let me type it in. Maybe I'll have to do it over here. In reality, let's see what we got. This is now the real picture versus US dollars. Yeah, so perfect analogy there. Be careful here with your altcoin money. You may be thinking, hey, I'm coming in and I'm buying the bottom end of the range and I'm buying value and I'm good to go. Versus Bitcoin. How'd that damn chart go? Right here. Oh, well, that's auger. Where did that? There it is. There. But versus Bitcoin, hey, that's cheap. But in reality, versus dollar, you can actually see this thing. What is that? 292? We could easily come down. Man, I even watch these lows. 2.4. Knock 20-30% off the price. No problem. And really, if we zoom out, oh boy, this is looking a little dangerous, eh? Whoa! So now, if we look at this versus US dollar, we're actually almost a little bit of an expensive market here. There's the lows. Here we are all the way up here. You see how versus US dollar, maybe we just cool our jets. So, a really, really big warning to the community. In 2017, I saw this happen to a lot of people. If you're going to buy these altcoins, look at them versus US dollar or euro or yen or whatever. Don't make conclusions about setups versus Bitcoin when Bitcoin is face ripping. It doesn't work. So, okay, I think I'm going to leave the rant at that for today. Hope you feel like you got some good value. Talked for a little bit there, so felt like I gave you a pretty good rundown of what I'm seeing. No guarantees from the management. Go slowly, everybody. Don't take no wooden nickels. Remember, I think I told you at the beginning of this year, your number one job just to make damn sure you get through this year in one piece. So I expect to see and hear from everyone January 1st. Actually, one way you can absolutely guarantee that you will be hearing me January 1st is if you get your butt into the school. And a cool dovetail, because I'm such a great marketer. We happen to have a Black Friday Cyber Monday deal that's winding up here. This is going to finish, and you can see about 10, 11 hours. If you would like to participate in the school and you want to get a couple bucks off, do yourself a favor and sign up. And you will get to know myself and the Kavarkinator. as well as Sharktoshi. I think I showed you the instructors to the level 1 program. They're a bunch of cool guys. Let's see, where are they? There they are. The Wook, Grim, fantastic guy. Really, really good trader. Nice and patient. Probably, I couldn't think of a better person for an instructor for level 1 because the guy is like so patient. He's just like a big cuddly teddy bear. Sharktoshi, who's just hell, he actually went into the level 2 program. In the level 2 program, we attacked PineScript and writing algos, and Sharktoshi is just a monster algo trader, writer. So, on top of the fact that we give everybody this kick-ass trading tool, the DI index, you got just a beautiful tutorial from a guy who actually basically does this full time. And then we got the Duke of Albuquerque. No, Duke of Burkey, right? That's your title, isn't it? Anyway, Kavarkanator here, one badass dude. He's also part of that level 1 crew. Gotta tell you, these are just fantastic people. So, you want to say hi to these people, Kevin? In your best Kavarkanator voice? I don't know.
Hello.
That's what that guy sounds like? Okay. Anyway.
Hey, everyone.
Hey, there you are. So, if you can take advantage, if we can help you, I think our school program does a great job. It sets you up to build your small business of trading. There's the offer. Take advantage if you can. And I'll stop squawking about this once this timer has wound down. So, all right. Have yourselves a great day. PMA for the win. Really, actually, I have to say, I'm really proud of the community. I'm really proud of the best practices that I see out of the community. Slow and steady wins the race. And let's all set ourselves up for this next growth cycle. Go watch that video that I told you to watch. Because, man, this world economy is about to go fucking apeshit. And I would like all of you to participate in it. Might as well. The money's going to be made. Might as well put some of it in your pocket. All right, everybody. Have yourselves a great rest of your day. All the best. And bye for now.